Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't made a video in the past week or so. There have been some pretty big games, but this one was the biggest, I thought, because this is where I thought we really had a chance to win and to take it to a team who people think are better than us, and I really don't think that that is the case. I think we've got a lot of talent, and not just that, we've got a lot of heart and play as a team, so I thought this game was ours for the taking and could have very easily been our victory. So I was more excited about this game. Plus, we're back in the Champions League at home. We obviously lost to Liverpool in a very close 3-2. Yes, Liverpool outplayed us last time, but we showed that we had some character. This game, however, Atletico is not as good as Liverpool. They don't press the same way as they do. They play a slower paced game. This plays right into our hands. So went into this game full of confidence, and rightfully so. We ended up getting the initial lead 1-0 after Rafael Leao scored his goal, which was a really nice shot, and he's been playing excellent recently. I'm really happy to see Leao play this way. He has stepped up this season big time because he's been showing a lot of character, a lot of poise. He's not just giving up when one thing doesn't go right, and he's fighting hard. He's working hard for the balls, and he has effort. That's something that we did not see from Leao last season, and he was just very, very lazy, but this season, much different. So, excellent goal there from Leao. Kessie hit in a poor cross, but Diaz was able to recover it, hold on to it, dish off to Leao. Great goal. For most of the match, initially for the first 30 minutes, Milan was outplaying Atletico, and they looked better, they looked more comfortable, they were getting the bulk of the chances. Then they give Kessie a yellow card, and here's where we start to get into things here, which entirely changed the game. Was it a foul? Not even really. It was a very mild foul, so it was hardly a yellow card decision. Crazy too that it's the second yellow card. Usually when a ref sees a second yellow card offense, they need to be thinking more about it and saying, okay, is this really bad enough to be a second yellow card and result in a red? If it's not, then hold off, and if they do it again, then for sure give them the yellow. This was nothing like that. This is a very regular foul, maybe not even a foul, and the ref immediately goes towards giving him a yellow. This is on Kessie. Now, should Kessie know better and to not even go close to it? Yes, but I mean, he likes to play physical, which should be the game. It's a contact sport, and for some reason we've got away from that these days, and it's been probably the biggest disgrace of this game over the past 10 plus years is the lack of contact in this game, and the inconsistency of what refs will allow and what they won't. Now, this ref, I have to say, I don't think he was just a bad ref. I think this ref was dirty. I think this ref is probably corrupt, because the way that he reffed this game from beginning to end was atrocious. I believe the stats were something like Milan had 8 fouls to Atleti's 11 fouls. Milan had 6 yellow cards, whereas Atleti had 1. And all of their fouls were at least as bad as Milan's, if not worse, especially 3 or 4 fouls on Tonali, which were definitely yellow card offenses. Kondogbia dodged a second yellow mysteriously, and didn't get a red card, which he definitely should have if Kessie's was a second yellow card offense. So this is kind of where we get into the whole mess of this game. Atletico did not do anything to deserve any points out of this game. I'm very incensed by this because I feel like action should be taken. Yes, a ref can have a bad game and make a couple mistakes, but this was consistent. From minute 1 to minute 96, this was consistent. It was anti-Milan the entire time. You get to the first goal, it was a little bit sloppy marking by Romagnoli. I think he should have been tighter to Griezmann, but it was all started off of junk in midfield where there should have been a foul anyways, and boom, it just continued on. That being said, there's no excuse. Romagnoli should mark that better, but it is a little bit hard when you've played down a man for the entire game. However, I still think 10 minutes left to go, you defend even harder. So that one is on Romagnoli for not marking as tight. Griezmann is very shifty. He's never going to beat you for strength. He's very physically weak, but he's going to be a little bit shifty, and he's going to put it on his right foot. Romagnoli did not move and anticipate the way that Griezmann did. That was the cause of that goal. Now, even worse than that one, because this was not a marking mistake, was the second goal that Atleti scored. It was a penalty in the box for a handball on Pierre Kalulu. Total BS. Absolutely wrong. If anybody calls this a penalty, they either have huge bias or don't know the game. This was absolute garbage because the ball bounces up in the box. Him and I believe Lamar are right next to each other, right on top of the ball. The ball's basically touching them both. It hits Lamar's hand, and then if you watch in slow motion, then Kalulu's hand comes to the ball, but it's in a natural position, right? He's moving forward, the arms go a little bit away from his body, but it's not like it's way extended from his body. It's where you expect it to be. Now, I don't know if they've changed the rules for Serie A to Champions League with what they had done with handball. I know that they switched it to be if it's in a natural position, it's not a handball anymore, in Serie A at least. But I don't know what they've done for Champions League. Regardless, if you toss that rule out, it's equivalent between Lamar and between Kalulu. So how can you say that because Kalulu's arm touched it, it's a foul on Kalulu, but not on Lamar? Makes no sense. So the only way that you can look at this is to say that the referee had severe bias or is corrupt, which is not hard to believe given UEFA is involved. So if you think about what happened here, and to kind of blow it more out of proportion, why did the ref not even go and check VAR? He didn't go over and look himself. He didn't go at all. He just trusted what they said, or maybe this is what he wanted all along, and he probably said, hey, did his arm touch? Even if they said yes, but with stipulations, he would have said, oh, it's fine, his arm touched, I'm calling it a handball, done. He didn't go and look at it. He didn't check it out. It very much reminds me of what happened last season when we were playing Manchester United, and they gave a handball against Kessié when Kessié scored a goal against Man U. That one goal would have actually progressed us in the Europa League and beat Man U. But of course, in the end, they called it for Man U, just like they called it for Atleti. So this game went from what should have been a 1-0 victory and actually playing with 11 men versus 11 to being a 2-1 loss in the last minute of the game. Not a single stitch of this was on AC Milan. Their players played fantastic today, barring Franck Kessié, who I think Kessié, even though the second foul was not really a foul or a card, he still played poorly. He wasn't good for the 30 minutes he was on. And putting himself in that situation still is a negative. So he's really the only one I can give any flack to. That guy, in my opinion, should be out of this team. He's not fighting hard for the shirt this season. He's not playing well this season. He is refusing to sign a renewal. So just sit him. Ice the guy. You don't need him. I'd honestly rather have Rade Krunic come in and play, or some youth Primavera team player who wants it bad, who wants to fight for this shirt. Look at Tonali in the last minute of this game. He's bouncing guys off his shoulder, knocking them down, going and fighting for the ball in the last minute of the game. You'll never see that from Kessié these days. He's disinterested. He's done. He doesn't care. The difference is one guy wants to be here and fights and loves this shirt and bleeds for it. The other guy doesn't. You've got guys like Rebic who cares intensely, Ibrahimovic who cares intensely, Brahim Diaz, Salamakers, all these guys care intensely about this club. Tonali. I mean, we have a passionate team now, and I really, really love it. It's making me feel awesome about Milan again. Florenzi even, bringing him in already, he seems like he's into this team. Calabria. I mean, this team has some inner workings, but Franck Kessié's got to go. He needs to sit on the bench and ice him. If he wants to stay, he can sign a new contract and we'll work him back in the team. Otherwise, he's got to go. Now, this review obviously is from a Milan standpoint, but I am a Milan fan and most of my videos are all on this. I will not comment on the Atleti players because I just don't think they played that great overall. This is all about Milan. So I'm not going to do an individual ratings video here. I thought everybody played great today. The only player I would give a terrible rating to would be Kessié, and I would give Romagnoli maybe a 6. But besides that, if he didn't kind of mess up on his marking there and marked tighter, he probably would have gotten a 7.5 because him and Tomori played excellent and held people off for literally 80 minutes down a man. But besides that one, he did make a mistake and he could have marked tighter. So overall, I'm very, very incensed at this game, at this result. I feel anybody watching this, any of my followers are probably feeling the exact same way. I would say I can't believe it, but I'm really not surprised. AC Milan has been given the short end of the stick far too many times in their recent history, and it is disgusting that this has been taken further and happened again today. I will end by saying I really want Pioli to step in and say something about the ref. I want Pioli to really let them have it, stay classy, but really say something about the ref. I want AC Milan to support him and to back him, and I want AC Milan to file an investigation to this ref and against UEFA for what's going on. Somebody needs to do something or the same crap is going to happen year after year after year. It is gross. UEFA is probably the dirtiest organization out there, and somebody's got to do something against it. This was terrible. The best team did not win today. Even if, in football, the best team doesn't always win. I get that. But the right result, the fair result, didn't even happen today. This was all abused and bastardized by the referee. The players did not decide this game. The referee did. And when that happens, that's a bad thing. Thank you guys for watching. It is a bit of a down day today. I can't say anything but positives for our guys. But that ref, my God, he better not show his face in Milan again. I don't think he's going to be very well liked. Take care, guys. Ciao, and Forza Milan.